This is Irontrader, and this is Midday Trading. So we'll take a look at some stocks here. First of all, we'll take a look here at Lululemon, Starbucks, Goldman Sachs, and JP Morgan. All right, this video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation by selling stock by ETF. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, here we have Lululemon. Now, we just take a look at some of these earnings that were in the past. We take a look at here. You see where it dropped down and then went down again. Okay, we had another gap down. Another gap down, but look at this earnings here, okay? What do we have? We went and it gapped right up here. We had a sideways action. Now she's popping up. She got an upgrade there today. So this is your big time first resistance. It's going to be that 200-day at 228.27. That's going to be very, very critical. You have to close above it, okay? Now, if we can, then this is your next level right here, 233.75 level. Then we'll come up top of that candle, 241.84. We'll come up here. You're looking at 247 flat, and then we bring this bad boy right across here at 250, 224. Now, if you can close above that 200-day, keep right and rolling. Look at this beautiful gap sitting right here. So what you're looking for is the top of this candle. That's that 275.60. Okay. Now, we'll have to see what the reaction is if it even does get there. But if it does starts working to say itself in, then we look to the bottom of that candle at that 329.60. There's your gap fill, and then we can come all the way to the top there at that 340 level. Okay, so there's a lot of nice, good upside targets, but everything's going to be dependent right here on that 200 SMA. Now, on the downside, we left this gap, which I never like. But okay, so you want to look at today's low, looking at 218.56, and then we look at the top of that candle there at that 219.45. There's your gap. There's your fill, but we also have resistance or support right there at that 213.22 level. Then we come on down, we lose that, we come down to that 200 mark. 200 mark there, and then we can come down here to the bottom of this candle here. You're looking at 198.54. There's another gap, and then another fill here at 188.50. Then we can start hitting that 186 level. There's your 21-day. We have your 100-day, and then we have your 50-day all the way down here at the what do we got there? Let me just see. All right, you got 177.21. But again, when you look at this, you can see here how we had this sideways action. A lot of times when you have that sideways action, then consolidation, it wants to break right on out one way or the other. Looks like here we're breaking out here to the top. But everything is going to be here is going to be that 200 SMA. Now, when you look at your RSI, you're over to an overbought situation, so you got to be a little bit careful here. The green is over your red, so you got to be just a little bit careful there. But again, that 200-day on the upside is everything. We get above that. We got so many nice targets here, all the way up to that gap in that fill area. That would be really, really good run. So what I'm going to do here is I like trading this one. So I'm watching that 200-day 228.27 level. Now, where I am, they put a pop-up Lululemon store. It was so popular. Now they moved into the building right next to it, and it's a big full store now of Lululemon, and it's always busy. Now they're more expensive, but the quality is really good. But the key now is that 10% is they're coming up with all the menswear kind of situation, not just the women's store kind of a situation now. And it's really, really good. I see a lot of people coming in and out, especially like in this holiday season. So if you are trading this, just watch that 228.27. That's going to be very, very critical on the upside. If we can get above that, then we have all these nice targets sitting right there. Okay, let's take a look here now at Starbucks. All right, here we have Starbucks, and you can see how it's breaking out. Now, when you look at this pattern here, see how this up, down, see that builds energy, and she could have went one way or the other, but obviously she broke right up. Now, the key support level, what you're looking for here, let me just pick this up here because it's clear for you, is right here is going to be right there is going to be that 88.01. Okay, you have to hold that on the closing basis. That's going to be very, very critical. If we lose that, we'll come down to today's low, 87.30. There's your gap, and then we look to the top of that candle at 85.83. Okay, your gap and your fill. If we lose that 200 SMA there, 88.01. Okay, then we have all this right here. Okay, you're sitting about that 85 area. You got your 100-day, 8-day, 21-day, and then your 50-day is down here just a little ways down there at that 84. Just call that 85 area. That's going to be very, very strong support. But you can see here that can curl up and push this price right out here. Look how many nice targets we have here on the upside. So far today, we hit this high of 90.58 level. Okay, so what you're looking for next is we just bring the price channel right across. What you got is you got 91.32 is next. Okay, we'll just come this right across here. We're coming right up there. You're looking at 93.58. We'll bring that across. We have 94.85 level. Then we always want to look to the left of the chart here, 95.91 level. Then we come up here at 97.89 and work yourself all the way up to 98.18 and then all the way there at that 98.89 level. So there's a lot of really good targets as long as we hold that nice 200-day. Now you look at the RSI. This is not overbought, oversold. That's got plenty of room to run. Sideways action here on your MACD, but the green is still over your red. That's looking very, very good. Okay, so again, if we can hold that key 200-day at 88.01, then we're going to start hitting all these targets right here. Now, again, if you can break about above this, well, then you can go right to the next section, 99.92 level, and you can work yourself all the way back up to that 117. But let's just take one level at a time. That's going to be very, very key. But right now, what we're looking for next here on this, okay, on today's high, that 90.58 level, we can come right up to these marks here. We're looking at right there is going to be that 93.58 level, and right there at that 94.85. Okay, so that's going to be your upside, and then just go right there, just go right there, and then eventually we can have the nice retest at that 98.89. Okay, so this here is looking very, very bullish. On the downside, as long as it holds that 200-day, it's going to be sideways to up action. Just very, very simple. And then everything is sitting around that 85 level if it happens to sell right on off. Okay, let's take a look here now at Goldman Sachs. Okay, here we have Goldman Sachs. Okay, so you can see how the market, overall market is up today. Dow's up over 400, Nasdaq's up over 489. Now the CPI number came out today, and wow. Okay, it was a lot better than what they expected, the situation. Maybe it was Trump's speech last night or something. I don't know. But anyway, it looked like it's better than expected. Now, I can see where inflation is coming down here because I always do my own shopping. I go to the grocery stores. I want to check out and see what prices are and everything. And you can see where it is coming down. And the one main thing that's coming down now is the gasoline. I mean, over here, we're sitting at about $2.43 a gallon here now. And I know some states are under $2. So that really helps out the economy. And it's not just the person that's, hey, I'm driving to work and all this kind of thing, but it's all the businesses now. They don't have to have all that expenditures in all that $4 gas and all that kind of thing. Whether, if they're snow plowing or they're mowing lawns or doing whatever, they don't have all that big expense kind of a situation here. So it's very, very good. But anyway, here's Goldman Sachs. Now you can see here, we topped out that 919.10. We came right on down. We're hanging right around this 8-day. Okay, so 886.58, that's going to be key. Then we go to yesterday's high, 895 level. We come up here, top of this candle at that 904 level. Then we come right there. You test that 919 level. That's going to be very, very key. But always watch the 900 flat. That's key. Now, again, if we break out this, then we're going to start shooting right for that 1,000 area. That's just very, very simple. Okay. Now, on the downside here, you got to watch the bottom of that candle. That's 874. We'll come down here. You're looking at 868 level. And then what we can do is we come right down to that 21-day. You're looking all the way down there at this candle here first. Let's say 840. And then we have that 842. This is very, very key. But if it does sell off here, always look to the left of the chart here. These here will always be your big time support levels besides your simple moving averages. But again, if we lose that 8 there and it starts rushing down, usually that catch-all 21 will do it. If not, we have the 50-day at 806, and then you have your 100-day, and then we have your big retest down there at 754. So this is still looking very, very bullish. Now, we got to a little bit of overbought situation, came on down. Now she's rallying right back up, so we got to see how that's all going to shake out. But this is very, very strong. The green is still over red. It never did that crossover. And if you look at the overall chart, you know what I'm saying? It's just one solid glaze. Now, this and JP Morgan, which we'll look at next, are my two favorite stocks. There's also ones that I own and I also trade. But these two here, I think, are just the elite. Okay, let's take a look here now at JP Morgan. All right, here we have JP Morgan. You see it's pretty much similar, same thing as what we had on Goldman Sachs. Okay, so this here is a really, really good mover. Now, we look at how big this up here, okay? So this 8-day is holding very, very nice, as we can see. So that's going to be your big support is 314.23. Now, if we lose that, then we come over here to the top of that candle, looking at 311, and then we come down here to this 310 area, or your 21-day. Then we have your 50-day sitting right there at 307. Then we have your 100-day at 304. So everything is sitting right here. But again, your price is above all your simple moving averages. Now, on the upside, you want to look at today's high, 317. We'll go there at 319. We'll come at the top of this candle at that 319.52 level. Then we want to look over top of this candle here, 322.25 and then 322.88. Now, we had a double top situation. See this? We had a double top, came down, sold on. So this is going to be very, very key. You have to close above that 322.88. If you do, then we head right for that 350 mark. You know, it's not going to be instant, but that's what you'll be heading for. Okay. Now here on the RSI, well, you're only sitting at 55. That's plenty of room to run. The green is over your red. This is a very, very bullish chart, just like Goldman Sachs. You can just see just a nice series of bottom left, upper high, upper right here. That's exactly what you want to see. Now this here, we had a little bit of energy. Okay, now energy, and then you can see where it kind of tried to want to break out, but we did double top right there. So just be a little bit careful again on that whole situation. But realistically, this looks like it just wants to go higher. Now again, just watch that 8-day. That's going to be very, very key on a closing basis. If not, you got your 21-day and your 50-day and your 100-day, everything sitting right there. On the upside, watch that 322.88. We crack above it, and then you can start heading right for that 350 mark. All right, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here at your pit close. And we'll take a look here at Bitcoin, gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas. We'll take a look at the indexes, which are all nice and green. Maybe we'll get our Santa Claus rally coming in right now. All right, trade what's in front of you. Now what you want.